Hey guys, I hope you had a fabulous weekend. It's almost over. Yesterday I did a video for you where I talked a lot about nuanced behaviors and little things that we allow our dogs to do and things that we practice with our dogs that I recommended that you don't do if you have a dog that is reactive either to people or other dogs. So gave you this list of things to try, but what I want to do today is actually focus on the things that you can be doing differently, not the things that you shouldn't be doing. The thing that I need to stress the most to everyone is that dog reactivity is not the issue. Actually, dog reactivity is a symptom of an issue that goes much deeper. And that's where we have to focus, because unfortunately, with dog training or any kind of behavior modification or behavior change, whether it's in with ourselves or with dogs, we have to go and look at the source of what it is that the behavior is all about. So in my opinion, dog reactivity is based on a flawed relationship with the handler or the owner. Now, that's not to say that sometimes dogs don't come that way. Many times we rescue dogs that already have issues, so this is not to point fingers or anything like that. It's just to basically say that for the most part, the cases that I've seen in the last 20 years have a lot to do with the relationship with the owner. And I mentioned yesterday overprotectiveness and claiming of the owner, resource guarding, and that type of thing. So when we realize that it's not as simple as just saying, what do I do when my dog reacts? Because those are a lot of the questions that I got yesterday after I posted the video. It goes deeper than that, so we have to fix what's going on between you and your dog. So I want to give you, this is something that I want to make an ongoing thing. I think there needs to be several videos on this, and not so I don't inundate you guys with like so much stuff that you won't be able to absorb it and actually do it. So I'm going to do a series of videos, and this is going to be the second one on this issue because the first one was yesterday. So the most important thing that we need to work towards is becoming relevant to our dogs, because we all know that if we're not relevant to someone, they're not going to respect what we tell them to do or not do, right? Because we're not relevant. So it's kind of like you can't fire someone that doesn't work for you because you don't have that authority. So you can't be seen as an authority figure or someone that your dog can trust if they don't view you as relevant. Well, how do we get there? Okay, I'm about to tell you. So this is all about building a foundation. You have to go back before the behavior, and you have to look at building a foundation where your dog begins to trust you to advocate for him, okay? To not put him in situations that he's not comfortable in, to teach him how to get out of a situation he's not comfortable in. Because the vast majority of dog reactivity cases are dogs behaving in such a way that they are actually being proactive. They don't want the other dog to be near them. They don't want to go towards that dog, even though it may appear that that's what's going on. But actually, most of the time, vast majority of times, it's fear-based. They're nervous about the dog, they're not secure about the dog, and unfortunately, they can't trust their human to advocate for them or to know what to do in that particular moment. A lot of times when that happens, believe me, I've dealt with all this in the past. I haven't always been a dog behaviorist. So I was a rescuer. I had lots and lots of dogs that misbehaved and that were reactive, that I deemed aggressive. So I'm talking from experience as well of things that I used to do. So what we want to do is become relevant to our dogs, but there are steps that we can take to do that. So I'm going to just give you a few, but first I want to give you an example of something, because when we are soft with our dogs or we don't come across as an authority figure, what we've done is we've created an imprint on that dog, and that they view us a certain way. So what we have to do is undo that reputation that we have from their perspective. I talked about perspective a lot yesterday. So think about it like this. Let's say that you're an employer of a big company and you're hiring someone. Let's say you're hiring me, okay? So I come to do an interview with you, and I walk in your office, and the first thing I do as I walk in is go, hi. Okay, I look away from you, I don't make eye contact, I'm kind of holding my body like this. That took about 2 seconds for me to do. Do I get the job? I don't get the job. Why? Because I made an instantaneous imprint on you that I was not somebody that could lead. So why would you hire me to manage your company or to manage employees? Because now I've made an instantaneous imprint on you. So those are the things that we do inadvertently with our dogs that tell them that we are not in a position of authority. If we give them excessive amounts of unearned affection, then that's the position that they see us in. We're either a leader or a follower. We can't be both. So there's something very simple that we can do. This will be step one, is that we can ask for eye contact. This is at the very beginning of everything. If we can get eye contact with our dogs, we can become relevant. And it's an easy thing to do. It's not difficult at all. It's just changing some habit loops, some things that we used to do one way that we're going to now do another way. Imagine, for instance, that you're talking to someone who's really important to you about a subject that is really intense, and you're talking to that person, and the whole time you're talking to them, they're staring at their phone, they're texting or whatever, and they're just kind of going, You're not relevant to that person at that point, partially because you don't have their eye contact. They're engaged in another activity, so you're not relevant to them at that moment, and you know how that feels. So what you want to get from your dog is eye contact. So my dogs actually are required to give me eye contact. It's a habit for them now, so they don't even think about it. I don't even think about it. But when I give them their food, for example, I put the bowl down after they give me eye contact and acknowledge that we have a connection here. I'm giving you food, and I'm saying, when I put it down, you're allowed to eat it when you give me eye contact. It's not punishment at all. It's just basically a matter of respect. This is what I'm giving you, but look at me first. I do the same thing at threshold. So a threshold can be in and out of your bedroom door, in and out of your house, back to your garden, back into the house. It can be in and out of your car. All of those things are threshold barriers, whatever you want to call them. Up and down the stairs, you guys, if you follow me, you see the videos that I do frequently of how I ask my dogs to come down the stairs in the morning one at a time. That's simply me drilling in this concept over and over with my pack. And these dogs have all been with me for years, but I practice it every day with them. It's automatic for me. It doesn't take extra time. So if you can just require that from your dog, let's start with that. Tomorrow I'll do another video and we'll go to the next step. But right now, whatever you're doing with your dog, when you get ready to go to do something else, if your dog is following you, turn, square off with the dog, and wait until he gives you eye contact before you invite him to go further, whether it's through a threshold, into your car, out for a walk, whatever. Just make sure that you are relevant to him at that moment. You will find that you'll have 1,000 opportunities in the course of any given day to practice this with him, for food, for walks, for thresholds, any of those things and more. You'll find reasons that you can just basically integrate this into your daily practice. It doesn't require actually setting aside time to do formal training. It's something that can be so simple. You can develop this habit of asking for it, and they will develop a habit of giving it to you. Now you've got a connection, just like when that person stops looking at their phone and looks at you, so you can tell them what's in your heart. Okay? Let's start with that. I will talk to you again tomorrow. I'll do another video. But I want you to remember one thing, that leadership is a gift. It's the best gift you can give your dog. Once you are relevant to them and you are their advocate and their leader, everything is going to go so much smoother. You're going to be able to accomplish whatever it is that you want with your dog. Okay? All right. Have a great end of the day, and I love you guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.